Now at midday, lawmakers burned the midnight oil after a marathon session to approve the state budget. Big ticket items that made and missed the cut. Drivers can expect to see big change in their commutes when a significant highway reopens. What can be expected once the North Split reopens this weekend?
Yeah, it looks like a cloudy, cool, and a damp afternoon across the area this afternoon. Along with that, we're checking out radar right now. Storm tracker does show some very light rain and some drizzle from Indy northward back out west. Get used to it here. We'll keep the chance of showers in the forecast into your weekend.
The Horseshoe has a new quarterback on the roster, and the excitement is palpable from the front office to the fans. Anthony Richardson's message to Indianapolis. And we're following breaking news. A man is dead on the city's Near East Side. Reports came in just after 8 this morning. IMPD is investigating how the man ended up dead in an alley of a Brookside neighborhood. Police say they got a phone call overnight from a neighbor. They do not believe the shooting happened in the alley. The man's identity has not been released. We will keep you updated online and on air with any new information. Now we're going to switch gears, take a live look outside. That is Lucas Oil. You can't really make out the stadium right now.
Where is it, Katiera? Where is it there?
It's a little dreary. Oh, I see it now down there in the corner. So good news coming to Lucas Oil. Not that great of news for the weather, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just a cloudy, gray, damp day out there.
The budget that was just passed and the budget that I will gladly sign is not just your average, ordinary, typical 2-year budget. It is a generational impact budget.
State lawmakers have passed a new 2-year budget in a marathon session that lasted early into the early morning hours. The House approved it 70-27. The Senate vote was 39-10, both largely along party lines. One major change from the original plan: the budget boosts school funding by $1.5 billion. That's a $300 million bump from where the package stood this time yesterday. The Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray says lawmakers revised the plan after a rejection showed funding for most Indiana school districts would increase less than 2% in the budget's second year.
When we started looking at it, it wasn't where we thought it was going to be, and it wasn't satisfactory to us. So we were going to take a very serious look at that without any calls, but we certainly got some calls, and I know I did from some of my constituent superintendents, and a lot of members did. So we were probably going to look at it anyway, but they certainly let us know they had an opinion on it.
Indiana's school voucher program will be expanded under the budget. The income limit for families of 4 to be eligible increases from $154,000 to $220,000. Democrats call the move fiscally irresponsible.
In families that make $220,000 a year, do you think they really need us to help them go to private school? And what does that say about what we're doing? I'm just flabbergasted at how we continue to go down this path.
The budget also includes the elimination of textbook fees, funding for Governor Holcomb's Public Health Commission, expansion of the Indiana 988 Crisis and Suicide Lifeline program, pay raises for state police, and funding for new equipment at volunteer fire departments.
All Access Indy, The Draft, presented by Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
I mean, when you watch him against the pressure in the pocket, just his movements in the pocket, you know, feeling the rush, not seeing it, being able to get out of the pocket and create the explosive plays that he does is pretty dynamic.
He's a very poised young man, even though he hadn't had a lot of starts. Just the one thing that, I kept going back and watching, you know, like all his pressures, everybody that pressured him. And that's when you really saw his poise come to light.
Well, the Colts finally have a new quarterback. The team picked former Florida Gator Anthony Richardson with the 4th pick in the first round of the NFL draft. Sports director Anthony Calhoun talked to Richardson right after the pick.
Hi, good morning here from Kansas City.
All right, and Richardson is already up to speed on his new team's hashtags. Soon after he got the news, Richardson tweeted simply, "For the shoe." He also got to connect with his younger brother, Corey. He's 13. He's been a big fan, friend, and supporter. The NFL shared the video call between the two that got Big Brother choked up.
Keep up the great work and know that I'm always here to support you in all your future adventures. I love you, bro.
Dang, man. Hey, man. Appreciate that, little bro. Hey.
Love to see it. And Colts fans are also reacting to the draft pick. The El Emporium in Castleton was filled last night with people there to watch the draft. The people we spoke to say they're excited to see what Richardson brings to the team.
Saw him at the combine and how athletic he was, and just his metrics were off the chart. I think Richardson showed at the end of last season that he could be a pretty good player.
Richardson is only the third quarterback to be drafted by the Colts in the first round in franchise history. You have Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck are the only others. Next at midday, how IU Health is working to build a healthcare community in a North Side neighborhood. The opportunities being created to jobs and increased life expectancy of patients.
And the weekend's almost here. In fact, I think tomorrow will start out dry, maybe a little sunshine, but a cold front is approaching. And yep, here we go. Weekend rain chances will return tomorrow afternoon into Sunday. Also a big cool down late in the weekend. I have all the details coming up in my latest forecast.
Wish TV News, reaching more Indiana homes.
District in Indianapolis. It's a vision by IU Health to increase the health and life expectancy for those living in an area just north of downtown. News 8 is following this development from Step 1. Today's focus, jobs. IT Mate reporter Cody Fisher spoke with the Mosaic Center and their mission to connect people in the community with stable medical careers.
The new Mosaic Center will go right here at the corner of 18th Street and Illinois Street.
Central Indiana's biggest traffic headache should ease significantly in a few hours. NDOT says it is ready to reopen the North Split. As 2 years rush by on your screen in a time lapse, you can see all of that work. The morning rush should be much smoother soon. NDOT says it will reopen the interchange this weekend. Randy, as long as the weather allows, NDOT has gradually opened sections of the interchange over the last several months. The final links are the I-65 lanes, which are set to reopen in stages in the next 2 days. Now, once that happens, NDOT will lift the detour on I-465, and if all goes as planned, all lanes will be open by Monday, allowing the state to once again live up to its nickname.
So overall with connectivity, it's connecting almost all four corners of 465. This is a really big area. This is also just allowing people to get their goods and services through the crossroads of America, which is what we are. I think this is a really great way to just kind of start the construction season and start the summer, just allowing people to get to and from their destinations in a safe and efficient manner. But this just shows that Indianapolis is just a bigger place and it's growing, and more people are driving through this area.
And the reopening of the I-65 lanes does not end all of the work. NDOT says crews will still be working on the ramps to and from downtown for the next month. So they say a big if the weather holds out, they might be able to get that highway back open. Randy?
It's an if. It really is. I think tomorrow, if they're going to try to get it done during the weekend, the morning will be okay, but tomorrow afternoon, some showers. Sunday, kind of like today, breezy, a little bit of light rain and drizzle. So if.
So big if.
Big if, yeah, I think so. Hey, Katiera, let's check out some of the rainfall totals. And here in the city, about quarter to half inch of rain. I know up in the Carmel area, you had about 2/3 of an inch of rainfall.
Happening today, you can get a tree free for Arbor Day. As News 8's Lakin McGee reports, this is a giveaway to promote forest preservation in Indianapolis.
Lots of fun things to do for Arbor Day. Yeah, giving away a tree.
Indiana's only statewide TV news network. News 8 continues now.
And we're taking a live look outside downtown from Speedway. The gloom is still there. We're getting closer to the Indy 500. The weather not so great there. Hopefully as we get a little bit closer, we'll start to see things clear out, but it won't be happening today, I'm guessing.
No, not today. I think maybe tomorrow morning, Katiera, that'll be the best part of the weekend. Tomorrow morning, then the rain comes back in tomorrow afternoon, and off and on showers on Sunday too. So look,
keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, not the greatest weekend, but again, it could be a lot worse.
Why are a small group of people able to determine what the children of our community can and cannot read?
As a parent,
I believe it's my responsibility to watch out for my children, not to have other people watch out for my children.
More community members in Hamilton County are expressing frustration about a policy change at the Hamilton East Public Library. The library board voted last night to more clearly define what would lead a book to be pulled out of the sections meant for young readers and moved to areas intended for adults. The policy now lays out a list of terms considered grossly offensive and says books with crimes involving violence will move too. 11 people spoke at last night's meeting. No one explicitly spoke in support of the policy. Some called for a compromise, a section for flag books.
Our family supports the idea of a family resource collection or parenting selection area near the children's books or in the children's books area or the teen section instead of putting those books in the adult section. We don't need to send the young people into those areas.
The board had one person thrown out of the meeting for directing an expletive toward a board member. As police escorted him out, he called the board pigs. Others object to the price. The board estimates the project will cost more than $335,000 over 2 phases. And happening today, a free cookout to build awareness for domestic violence. The Brightwood Community Center is partnering with the Domestic Violence Network to put it on. News 8's Brittany Noble has what to expect.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Former Vice President and Indiana Governor Mike Pence has testified before a federal grand jury investigating efforts to overturn the 2020 election. That's according to CNN and the Associated Press. Both cite anonymous sources who say Pence's testimony happened hours after former President Trump lost an appeal to prevent it. According to CNN, he testified for more than 5 hours. It's not clear yet what Pence told the grand jury. As we have reported, prosecutors wanted information about Pence's phone conversations with Trump regarding January 6th. Emmett Till's accuser has died. Carolyn Bryant Donham was 88. In 1955, she touched off one of the pivotal moments of the civil rights movement, accusing Till of flirting with her and whistling at her, leading to his lynching. A jury found Bryant's husband and another man not guilty in the death. Bryant Donham's claims against Till have long been in question. A historian says she recanted most of her story in a 2007 interview, but Bryant Donham never confirmed his claims publicly. Emmett Till's cousin is the last living witness to Till's abduction. Reverend Wheeler Parker Jr. says in a news statement, "Our hearts go out to the family of Carolyn Bryant Donham. As a person of faith for more than 60 years, I recognize that any loss of life is tragic and don't have any ill will or animosity toward her. Even though no one now will be held to account for the death of my cousin and best friend, it is up to all of us to be accountable to the challenges we still face in overcoming racial injustice." News 8 talked with Parker as part of an award-winning special, The Living Truth, the Emmett Till story. Our Alexis Rogers talked with Parker about what he saw and heard the night Emmett Till was murdered.
I got up, I said they're coming back, I put my shoes on, because I didn't like that barefoot by this time, and I'm heading for the woods. It seemed like daylight would never come. I didn't go to Simeon's room. His brother was in a side bed in there. He didn't wake up. The room next to him, Curtis, was in there. When he went to his room, he didn't wake up. In the bed with me, my Uncle Maurice, he never woke up. So only 2 people that were awake, unbeknown to each other, me and Simeon. And we were in different rooms, but no lights in the house.
Was Simeon in the same room as Emmett?
Same bed. They were in the bed together. When they came in, Simeon woke up. While they were talking to him, I think they told him to lay back down and go to sleep. When they got out to the car, Papa said he heard a light voice, said he's the one.
And the special just earned a top documentary award from the Society of Professional Journalists. You can watch it all at your fingertips. Just grab your phone and scan the QR code on your screen. It will take you to the wishtv.com. The special is in the As Seen on Wish TV section. A genetic disorder impacting hundreds of thousands of people. Next at midday, the disease known as a silent killer if not detected early.
All day, every day. Your source for breaking news. Wish TV. We are local. Health Spotlight. Presented by Community Health Network.
In your health spotlight, each year, 356,000 Americans die suddenly without warning from cardiac arrhythmias, a genetic disorder that can go undetected. And it's not always the elderly or unhealthy. Sometimes we lose a young person. News 8's Lena Pringle has the story.
Yeah, that Joseph Newgarden looks like a Greek god, in his without his shirt on. I knew he was strong, but that was impressive, I gotta say.
That's what defending Indy 500 champion Marcus Ericsson says. He learned from the first episode of 100 Days to Indy. We caught up with him after the docuseries premiered last night. The 6-part series takes a look at the journey leading up to race day and how drivers get prepared. Last night's episode focused on Ericsson, Joseph Newgarden, and Scott McLaughlin. Ericsson says he hopes the show puts a new focus on IndyCar.
I think the IndyCar series is the best series out there in the world. It's the most competitive series. It drives from all over the world. We go to some amazing tracks. But we need more people to follow the series, because everyone that starts following it, they love it because the racing is so great, it's so dramatic, it's so unpredictable. So I think this series, what we're hoping is that a lot of people are gonna see this series and be like, hey, I want to watch IndyCar racing, and come see us on the races, watch us on follow the season and stuff like that. So I think this series is gonna be huge for us as a sport.
And you can catch every episode on Thursday nights at 9 right here on Wish TV. From big shiny robots to colorfully dressed wedding guests, it seems everyone on the big screen is doing battle. David Daniel looks at all the film fights in today's Hollywood Minute. All right, there's definitely a couple of movies that I might want to go check out.
Well, a lot of action in that, I'll tell you. The second one there, I'm tired just watching that.
I know, I'm tired. I'm tired of also of this rain, of this dreary weather.
Yeah, I know. Today's one of those days you pull the covers back up and stay inside. Just kind of a drizzly day out there.
Watching Wish TV. We are local.
All right, we're taking a live look at the zoo. It looks like people are still milling about, even though it's a little bit dreary out there. Still enough to get decent enough weather to get the kids out of the house.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you're heading out to the zoo, you're going to need a jacket or a sweater, and also just a little bit of drizzle going on. So other than that, it's just kind of a messy little afternoon. So let's show you the extended outlook here at Katiera. Tomorrow morning looks okay, but tomorrow afternoon, scattered showers, maybe thunderstorms, 66. Breezy, cooler, scatter showers on Sunday, 55. First day of May, 53 degrees, a few sprinkles around. Tuesday, Wednesday, dry. Rain chance to return on Thursday, 65. Then back up to 67 degrees by next Friday.
Thank you, Randy. And so make the most of your day. More headlines on All Indiana at 4 and always online at wishtv.com.